We've just passed an important new law to offer protection for commercial tenants going through the COVID crisis. I'm here with Minister of Economic Development, Trade and Tourism, Tanya Fir, who proposed this Bill 23, the Commercial Tenancies Protection Act. It just was approved on what's called third reading in the legislature. Tell us a little bit more about this important protection for hardworking small business people in Alberta, Tanya.
Yes, absolutely. So, Premier, as you know, we participated in the Canada Emergency Commercial Rent Assistance Program, the secret program with the federal government. But we were listening to a lot of feedback from our job creators, landlords, and tenants talking about some of the gaps with that program, either eligible landlords who are choosing not to participate or tenants that didn't meet the high eligibility requirements of the program. So, to address those gaps, we introduced Bill 23, the Commercial Tenancies Protection Act, which does two big things. One, it protects tenants from evictions, rent increases, late fees and penalties until the end of August, and it also requires landlords and tenants to work together to come up with a rent payment plan that works for them. Premier, it really gives that added peace of mind and assurance to landlords and tenants, to our job creators, as they work through relaunch and recovery.
And we obviously want to respect the interests of landlords as well. There's a lot of just mom and pop landlords who maybe own one or two commercial buildings and that's their main income. We're respecting their interests as well, but we just through the crisis didn't want thousands of stressed small businesses who had to shut down perhaps during COVID, during the height of the COVID pandemic, and who have seen maybe their revenues evaporate. We didn't want to see them just being completely thrown out of their places of business with no capacity to cope. So this is a bit of short-term relief balanced off against our long-term commitment to the market. And Tanya, this is on top of a lot of other measures that we've taken to try to support small business people through the crisis, right?
Absolutely, Premier. I mean, from the supports and deferrals that our government put into place in the very early days of the pandemic to our recently introduced small and medium enterprise business grant, which gives small businesses up to $5,000 to spend where they see best or where they see fit as they go through relaunch and recovery. All told, Premier, all the programs that our government introduced gives Alberta amongst the highest support of all provinces across Canada for our job creators.
Altogether, about $14 billion of fiscal action taken by Alberta's government over the past 4 months to try to protect both families and job creators from the impact of the crisis. And then, of course, in the future, we're building it into our Alberta Recovery Plan, doing everything we can to ensure a future for small business people in Alberta because they are the heart and soul of our economy.